Welcome back, sinners. Today I have a different kind of video for you. So last night me and Lewis finally got to watch The Bone Temple from the 28 Days Later franchise, and it really got me thinking about the Jimmies and about how much effort they put into their appearance. If you're from the UK, we know who they're trying to replicate, but I was just thinking they've gone out of the way, they've collected the wigs, they've collected and made the clothes and jewellery and even the tiara and stuff. And I was thinking, what would I look like in the zombie apocalypse? I already know for a fact, this is all hypothetical, obviously it's not going to happen, and I know for a fact I wouldn't make it through. I would be gone within a matter of minutes of it happening. But in an ideal world, if I did, this would be my makeup routine. I've decided to pick out 10 of my favourite products from my makeup that I feel like I could grab in, say if it happened and we had 30 seconds to go, these are items that I would grab as fast as possible. I'll show each one as I go through the steps, but I am counting makeup brushes as one product. I know that might be cheating, but this is my routine. I would grab this pack and that would be one item. Just quick side note, this video isn't sponsored, but I have included affiliate links where a portion of the sale does come back to me to support me as a creator. This comes at no extra cost to you. So my first item would be SPF Face Serum. So I have this SPF 50 by Haunted Alchemist, which is the cosmetics skincare line. Even the pentagram on the packet, I feel like the Jimmies would use this. So I would just apply this with my hands. Most of the time, in a zombie apocalypse, you're probably going to be outside. So we've got to look after our skin still. So this would be what I would use for a moisturiser and an underbase to the foundation. And the second item, I am grabbing foundation. Any kind of fast movement, running or getting away and that, my skin is just going to go bright red. So I want to cover that. So I'm going in with Urban Decay's Face Bond in shade 1 Fair Cool. I'm just going to dot it on the back of my hand. And use a brush. Like I said, brushes, that is my 10th item that I would be grabbing. I'm also including my mirror in those products as well, even though it's all busted up. This would be the one I would grab from Cursed Cosmetics. And then I'm just going to do this really quickly because I don't feel like we'd have much time in the apocalypse. I feel like most of the time it's just get up and go. You've been scavenging if you've got to run away. So I'm just going to get a really quick base on. I feel like one of the worst things about the apocalypse is all the makeup would be expired. Especially in 28 years later, everything's going to be expired. Who's manufacturing makeup in the apocalypse? I'm probably going to be one of the only people wearing makeup, so I feel like not many people would be bothered. There we are, it's not perfect, but we're going for quick. This is a fast routine. I was trying to think as well, if I was in 28 years later, and I got inducted into the gyms, what would my name be? I do kind of feel like Kelly stole my name. I feel like I would be Jimmy Ink. Or it could be Jim Goff. I don't know. What would your name be? Put it down in the comments. I want to know. So the next product on my list would be a setting powder, particularly translucent. So I'm just going in with this cheap one. I think I got it from Poundland. I'm just going to set everything down. Not that this foundation really needs setting because it is quite matte, but I want the extra matteness because I am going to be sweating, running around, escaping, scavenging, whatever it is we're doing, I am going to be sweating. Feels really weird not to be going in with a liquid blush, which I would usually do in my normal routine, but I don't have time to grab that. I'm grabbing my essentials. I would have also put concealer under my eyes on a normal day, but I feel like I wouldn't want to put concealer on because then if we came across any survivors and things, they might think I look a bit too well rested and then they might follow us back and we don't want that. I want to look a little bit dishevelled so that people think I'm not worth looting. So because I'm looking a little bit pale and a little bit crazy right now, I'm going to do my lips next. I would usually do this step last though. So I'm going to go in with this lip pencil from Jolie Beauty, and this is in the shade Muted. It might be the end of the world, but I still want a full lip. I'm just going to go ahead and colour it in because I don't have lipstick. But I still want a nice nude. That looks like semi-natural. My lips are really dry, but my next product is going to help with that. lip balm. I wouldn't go anywhere now without a lip balm because my lips get really dry and I feel like they would get extremely dry in an apocalypse. Like some people might choose a lip gloss, but I feel like that would stress me out. I would end up crashing out if like a bit of hair got stuck to my lip while I'm trying to get away. I'd just turn around and let them take me. Now my next product is literally one of my holy grail products. I use this palette every day. I don't know where I would find another one in the apocalypse because I'm pretty sure this was an American import. But we have the Wicked Widow American Psycho palette. Like, we've got so many shades we can use here. We've got highlighter, we can use these for contour and eyeshadow. We've got shades we can use as blush. It's going to work for most things. And I can only choose one. So I'm going to go in for shade Evelyn and the News and do a bit of nose and cheek contour. Still just want a little bit of dimension in the face. Not really sure if I would have enough time for a nose contour in the apocalypse though. This probably takes the most time in my whole routine. Do usually add a little bit under my lip for a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to blend all this out in a moment and I'll come back to you. You have to think this might look a little bit wild now, but these are not usually what I would use for my nose contour. I mean, I would use those for my cheeks though, but I'm having to make do with what I've grabbed. Just because it's the apocalypse, I do not want to be caught lacking. But I'm not going to go in too harsh. Just a little bit of definition. A little bit of shading up here. And just to remind you again, I am doing this as fast as I can, so it's not going to be perfect. We'll just get a little bit under the jawbone. I do wonder how well would these blend when they are 28 years out of date. So now I'm just going to go in for a hint of Jean because I want to look like I've got a little bit of colour to my face, so if I come across these survivors, they know I'm alive, but then if the dead come across me, I don't want them to think I'm too alive. Just a touch on the top of the cheekbone, maybe a little bit more. Now we've added a touch more life back to the face, I'm going to put a little tiny bit on my nose. And so now here might be where I've made my mistake, because the only shade I could possibly use for highlight is Vain. I mean, it's a little bit battered up, but let's give it a go. I feel like with a bit of highlight, I want to add kind of like that sweatiness back to the face, but like artfully placed. Okay, we're going for straight in glitter. I am going to risk it and put a touch on my nose. Well, that's quite cute actually. A little bit on the bridge. Under the brows. I mean, I might not be the only person wearing makeup in the apocalypse, but I'm going to be the glitteriest. And a touch above the lips. We want that nice, artfully placed sweaty upper lip. Don't want people to think I'm taking it too easy. So, I did not pack a spoolie while running out of my house as quick as possible, but I did bring an angled brush. But I don't have a black eyeshadow, so I'm going to have to do with shade Reservation for a bit of a point on the eyebrow. Just want to get just a touch in. I'm actually thinking about it. We wouldn't even have 2016 eyebrows, would we? I live with 2016 eyebrows. They are very dear to me. Well, these are a bit of a mess, but that's kind of what I'm going for. I hate this. I love having black eyebrows, so this brown just feels wrong. I mean, hopefully it's coming out okay on camera. Now, one of the other products I did grab was my V Cosmetics mascara. So hopefully this can save the eyebrows and give it the black hairs in there. I know you shouldn't mix and use them on eyebrows and your eyelashes, but we're having to make do. Okay, this is coming together a lot better. More of a fluffier brow. I mean, would they have done a fluffier brow back then? I feel like everything was just like really skinny and like a little bit either straight or like rounded. Not harsh points or fluffy. So now I'm going in with shade Eggshell and I'm just going to buff that all over the eyelid. I'm just going to put this to make a base because I kind of want to do an eye look inspired by Ralph Fiennes' character. When he does, if you've seen it, you know the scene. Right at the end, No spoilers, there's a lot of black eyeshadow involved. I'm saying this, but I haven't packed a black eyeshadow ever. I guess I'll be doing dark browns. So now I'm going back in with the shade The News, and I'm going to just put that all over like the base of the eyelid, just coming up. Kind of want a dark eye, but without using any unnatural colours. And I'm just getting this on quick because I don't want it to look like I've sat and been able to do it for 2 hours. I want it to look like I've just done my makeup routine within 20 minutes. If you have watched The Bone Temple, the whole ending scene was just incredible, I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting that. When I saw the trailers of him like dancing around the fire and stuff, I didn't know what was happening. And then for it to be Iron Maiden, wearing like the gothiest coat you've ever seen, doing tricks, I was gobsmacked, honestly. I wonder if that was actually supposed to be his character's music taste, or if they're just like records that he's found along the way and listened to them because he's found them, or if he genuinely went out of his way, saw someone's collection, went, yeah, I love that one, not that one, this one. Honestly, a bit of Duran Duran and a bit of Iron Maiden. But I did not have those for the soundtrack on my bingo card. I'm just going to sweep that same shade under the eye. Did anybody else get goosebumps when they played the song on the end credits? It really brought it back to the first two movies. I was a little bit disappointed though that it was just over the end credits, because in the first two movies we had it like over Cillian Murphy walking around like the empty London. The second one was Robert Carlyle sprinting towards that boat, and I don't think they used it in 28 Years Later, and then they've used it in this one, but it was again just on the end credits. So now that I have that base colour on, I'm going to go in with shade Superficial and Reservation and just darken it up a bit closer to the waterline. So for this, I am definitely inspired by the Doctor's version of Satan, or Old Nick. I'm going to make really dark around the eyes. I'm going to make it a little bit messy under the eye, just to bring back kind of like a little bit of the eye bag look. Like I was saying before, I want to look kind of tired. I want to look like I don't want someone to mess with me. Like imagine if you was just going about your day and said Jimmy Crystal just walks into your life and tells you that everybody thinks you are Old Nick and that they are a Satanist and he needs you to play a part. I would play as well. Like when the Doctor said to Samson, today I felt fear, I would feel it as well. Because Jack O'Connell did play an amazing character. I also love how British it is. I do feel like, do some countries like understand how British that is? Like I can see that actually happening in an apocalypse. And like the fact that we know who he is dressed as, other countries might not. But then you've also got to think that Sir Jimmy Crystal grew up watching him, and when it was the apocalypse, was it 2001, 2002? That they did not know what Jimmy had done. So now that I'm finished with the eyeshadow, it's going to surprise you that I am not going to use a liquid liner, but I am going to go in with this little tiny one. This is on its last legs, but this is the Espresso Water Eyeliner in shade Black. And I'm going to tightline all the way around my eye, including my top waterline. But again, I kind of want my eyes to look intimidating. Did think about doing a red waterline, but then I thought some survivors might come across me, see red in the waterline and think infected. I don't want that. Because I do like a red waterline, and I think that really adds to like a intimidating, like gothy look. But it's not what we want today. We want intimidating, but we don't want bloodshot. So I have just gone in and messily done it, like where I've made mistakes and stuff, I've just left it. I don't have time for it. Now we're going back in with mascara. We don't have lashes because I feel like that really would be a luxury product in the apocalypse. I mean, if I'd have grabbed them, I probably would have got a few uses when the apocalypse first started, but 28 years later, I'm out of lashes. Then I'll still risk it with an expired tube of mascara. Still want long fanned lashes. I don't have a curler because I didn't grab one. So we're just going with the natural lash shape. I'm well aware that I hold this mirror so close to my face and I'm trying to make a conscious effort to not. So, and with the last bit of mascara, this would be my final zombie apocalypse look. It's messy, but it still makes a statement. It's like, it's intimidating, but it's not too intimidating. We've still got, you know, a bit of colour. People know we're alive, but the infected don't think we're too alive. I feel like this is probably what I would do. And you're probably thinking, like, would you wear a wig? Yeah, I would. I've put this one on today because, you know, like the Jimmys, they've sourced these blonde wigs with the fringes and everything, and they're walking around wearing them 24/7. I would wear a wig, but the reason I would wear a wig is because if one of the infected tries to grab your hair, it's just going to slide right off. I'll have a few more seconds to get away. As for jewellery, like the Jimmys, they've got lots of chains on and things. I don't want a chunky chain because someone grabs that, it's too hard to get off the neck. So I've gone for some light ones. This one, like a little weapon. This one, like a little locket to put any photos in to keep. This one, just for a little extra. And then I am wearing a tracksuit, but my goth version. The Cones and Bones two-piece. So we have the matching joggers to the cropped hoodie. It does zip up. You can read Cones and Bones. As for like earrings and things, I'm not going for earrings. Even when now, if I catch like the slightest bit of earring on my ear, I don't like the feeling of it. Rings, I've gone for a few because if I need to throw a punch, it's going to help. But yeah, this is my finished look, and thank you for coming and watching my second YouTube video. If you have seen the Bone Temple, leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I really enjoyed it and it inspired me doing this video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, sinners.